All right, let me tell you something that might sting. Most first time buyers don't lose deals because the business is bad. They lose because they're terrified of problems they will never have. They're looking at a 700K Amazon FBA business and suddenly thinking or talking like, hey, I'm a $500 million operator in a Bain consulting study. Hey, but John, I don't control Amazon's distribution or I don't get to collect their emails. But John, what if the platform shuts me down? But John, channel concentration risk. Buddy, you don't even have a business yet. Let's get you cash flow before you start pretending you're running Procter and Gamble. So think about that for a second. Hi, I'm John Stoddard from DealFlowSystem.net, and today I'm breaking down the number one hidden mindset trap that keeps new business buyers stuck, solving mid-market problems while buying a sub-$1 million business. Stick with me. This will save you months. All right, here's a quick story. When Warren Buffett bought See's Candy, he didn't analyze distribution channels or build a SKU level risk model or debate global expansion. He looked at cash flow, the mode, and simplicity, and he wrote a check. Now, would you buy a business where customers were already ready to walk through the door? Exactly. So, why are we worrying like corporate strategists before we even own our first small business? Hang with me. This will get better. Here's the truth. Small businesses have small business risk. Big businesses have big business risk, and they're not the same. At 700K SDE, you're not losing sleep over Amazon algorithms. You're losing sleep over, can the tax return be trusted? Do the bank statements tie out? Does the seller tell the truth? Will the SBA approve the loan? These are real risk, deal killing risk, not Fortune 500 whiteboard risks. This is where buyers get twisted. Understanding what not to worry about and skipping what actually matters. There are big company fears and there are SBA underwriting fears. Mix these up and your deal's going to die. Worrying about Amazon changing the algorithm, that's a big company fear. Worrying about whether the SBA lender will fund your deal, that's a you problem. Because here's the truth. You can ignore big company fears. You cannot ignore SBA underwriting. Lenders care about tax return tied to bank statements, clean financials, stable cash flow, a debt service coverage ratio above 1.5, real add backs, and an owner who didn't run 50% of their life through their P&L. Not because they're picky, because they want to get repaid. This is where deals fail. Not the Amazon, I don't control the customer list, not in distribution control, on fundability. So let's go deeper on this. A big company fear first time buyers obsess over is customer concentration, right? PE firms freak out if one customer is over 10% of revenue. Too much exposure, volatility, system risks. Relax. In small business, a 10 to 20% customer is normal. Sometimes the seller is the biggest customer. Sometimes one general contractor feeds an entire subcontractor. That's not a failure, that's a pattern. But here's the nuance. SBA doesn't love concentration, but they don't kill deals over it either. They just need a bankable narrative. How long the customer's been there, reoccurring purchase patterns, switching costs, loyalty, and the seller transitioning the relationship. Would you buy a business where a customer is 15%, but has been there for 11 years and orders every month and probably be with you another 10 years? Of course you would. It's bankable if you explain it right. Let me give you another one. Hey, John, I don't have the experience in this industry. This is pure corporate thinking. Big companies hire based on resume, industry tenure, sector experience. Small businesses don't care about any of that. Small businesses care about, can you show up? Can you learn? Can you manage a small team? Can you replace the owner without chaos? That's it. Buyer will look at a 600K distribution business and say, John, I've never worked on a distribution business before. Yeah. And the seller hasn't been on that line taking the phone calls for 18 years either. He's got salespeople for that. You are buying the business, not what a salesperson or tech person does in the business. BA lenders don't ask, hey, John, do you have 10 years of distribution experience? They're going to ask, is the seller staying on long enough to train you? And is the business stable enough for you to learn quickly? Traceability is greater than experience. And the only time industry experience really matters when a license is required, like an HVAC. When the owner leaves day one and when the staff is weak, you'd have to do the technical work. Otherwise, it's a big company problem creeping into a small company opportunity. Don't bring MBA logic to Main Street deal. One line I tell buyers, you don't need to know how to do the job. You need to know how the job makes money. That's the mental shift. Let me tell another story. I had a student look at a sub-$1 million FBA brand. Beautiful numbers, beautiful trend line. Seller practically gift wrapped it for him. But the buyer kind of hesitated. He goes, John, I'm worried about Amazon might shut me down or I don't get the customer emails. So I asked, has Amazon ever shut the seller down in the last 5-7 years? No. Is Amazon bringing you customers for free every day? Yeah. So what's the real problem? Yeah, he paused. Then it clicked to him. All right, okay, I'm worried about stuff I don't need to worry about yet. So that was a little bit of a breakthrough for him. If you're buying your first business, here's what matters: fundability, cash flow stability, SBA debt coverage, simple operations, and a replaceable owner. That's it. You buy a business where customers already show up, the seller already proved the model, the engine already runs, then you got to keep it alive, learn the business, grow it, and build confidence. Your first business isn't your forever business. It's your cash machine, confidence builder, and rep system. Once you own one, you stop asking, can I do this? You start asking, hey, what's next? All right, I have a practical application for you. So you can use this filter. Number one, ask, is this a real SMB risk or an MBA fear? And number two, underwrite the deal like the lender will. You could do that in AI. They've got clean books, stable cash flow, and what's the debt service coverage ratio that doesn't make them sweat? And number three, buy simple, buy understandable, buy something fundable. And number four, close the first deal. That's the unlock to this whole game. And after that, everything gets easier. All right. If you want help separating imaginary risks from the real deal killers, go to dealflowsystem.net. Apply to work with me. I help you find fundable deals, review them right away, and get financing to close. Because once you stop solving problems you don't have, buying your first business becomes a whole lot simpler. I'm John Stoddard, and I'll see you on the next one.